Libra, May 2026 is not playing nice with your usual coping style. I'm just gonna say that right away. You're a sign that likes balance, likes perspective, likes reading the room before making a move. This month, the room keeps changing. Uranus entering Gemini is speeding up your mind in a way that can feel exciting, liberating, and honestly kind of addictive. Your thoughts are reaching further. Your perspective is changing faster. You may suddenly want to study something new, travel, leave, teach, post, preach, question everything, or blow up an old belief you were secretly tired of anyway. That part feels alive. But there's also the overload, the mental whiplash, the nervous system strain from trying to process too many ideas, too many possibilities, too many truths all at once. May is stretching your mind, but it can also exhaust you if you confuse expansion with peace. And then you've got Saturn and Neptune in Aries sitting directly across from you in your relationship zone. And honestly, that's the part that makes this month feel so personal. This isn't abstract growth. This is other people forcing you to see yourself more clearly. Saturn in Aries is pressure to mature in love, in commitment, in conflict, in boundaries, in the way you show up one-on-one. Neptune in Aries is dissolving fantasy in those same areas. So if you've been idealizing someone, projecting onto someone, carrying a bond that feels spiritual but is actually just confusing, or trying to keep the peace by softening your own truth, May is where that gets exposed. You may feel more tired than usual because relationships are taking more out of you than you've admitted. And for Libra, that hits hard because you can keep smiling while quietly bleeding. Mentally, this month can feel like your inner compass is recalibrating in real time. Uranus in Gemini has you thinking bigger, faster, and with a lot less patience for anything that feels intellectually stale. You may suddenly outgrow certain conversations, certain people, certain narratives about your life. You may also feel pulled toward freedom in a way that scares you a little, because once your mind opens to something new, it gets harder to go back to the old version of yourself and pretend it still fits. That's not instability, that's truth moving. The problem is, your nervous system may not know the difference between liberation and chaos, so watch your body this month. Racing thoughts, sleep issues, emotional reactivity, doom scrolling, overcommitting to plans that sound exciting, and then leave you drained. All of that is possible if you don't slow yourself down on purpose. What's interesting is that underneath all this movement, you're craving emotional safety more than usual. And I don't mean in a soft, romanticized way. I mean real safety. Somewhere you don't have to perform. Somewhere you're not managing other people's moods. Somewhere you don't have to be the polished one, the reasonable one, the emotionally elegant one. You want relief. You want to feel held by something solid. You want to know your life is not just pretty from the outside, but actually supportive on the inside. That craving matters this month, especially because so much of the external energy is pushing you to mature through relationships and public responsibilities. If you don't create real emotional support for yourself, you're going to feel every pressure twice. May 1st is where things get intense. That full moon in Scorpio can bring up a heavy emotional purge around money, self-worth, debt, trust, intimacy, and the hidden power dynamics inside love or financial arrangements. This is not a light full moon for you. It can reveal where you've been undervaluing yourself just to keep a connection alive. It can expose a financial truth you didn't want to look at. It can drag up resentment about who gives more, who controls more, who owes what, who feels safe, who absolutely does not. And if there's been a secret in a relationship, especially one involving money, loyalty, sex, or emotional dependency, this is the kind of full moon that drags it into the light whether you're ready or not. So, let's talk about love, because that Aries pressure across your relationship axis is not subtle. If you're single, May can make you deeply aware of the difference between being chosen and being safe. And I need you to hear that because Libra can get tangled in potential, chemistry, charm, and the fantasy of what a person could become if they would just meet you halfway. Saturn and Neptune in Aries are ending that delusion. You cannot build a relationship out of someone's almost. If somebody is inconsistent, emotionally blurry, unavailable, selfish, or only present when it benefits them? This month is going to make that painfully obvious. And around May 1st, your emotions can run deeper than you expected. You might realize you're more attached than you admitted. You might also realize that attraction has been keeping you loyal to something that doesn't actually nourish you. If you're attached, this month puts the relationship under a very real spotlight. Not because it's doomed, because it needs honesty. Saturn in Aries is forcing maturity. Neptune in Aries is dissolving fantasy. So whatever the relationship is built on, you're going to see it more clearly now. If there's real commitment, real effort, real accountability, May can deepen the bond. But if you've been carrying the emotional grace for both people, if you've been accepting vagueness, mixed signals, selfish behavior, or unresolved tension because you were afraid the truth would break the peace, then yeah, this month can feel heavy. You may have to say things you've been swallowing for months. You may have to admit that your needs are not being met. You may also have to stop expecting someone else to read your silence correctly. That's not communication. That's self-abandonment dressed up as diplomacy. And honestly, the exhausting part is that some of you are learning that love without clarity is not romantic anymore. It's draining. I know, a little rude, but true. Neptune across from Libra can make you want to believe in the best version of someone. Saturn across from Libra asks what they actually do when it matters. Those are not the same thing. This month, the difference between chemistry and character becomes impossible to ignore. Then May 16th comes in with that new moon in Taurus, and thank God, because you need a point in the month where the energy becomes practical instead of emotionally loaded. This new moon is one of your best chances to get grounded around shared finances, private fears, long-term security, and the deeper agreements in your life. Use it, make the budget, sort the bills. Renegotiate what needs to be renegotiated. Look at the emotional weight of your money choices too, because that matters. If May 1st revealed debt, imbalance, resentment, or the fact that you've been spending to soothe yourself while pretending it's about aesthetics, May 16th is where you stop romanticizing the problem and actually deal with it. Taurus energy is slow, practical, and real. That's medicine for you this month. Career and money are bigger themes than you might expect, partly because Jupiter in late Cancer is pushing growth in your public life, your reputation, and your long-term success. You may be craving emotional safety, yes, but part of how that shows up is through wanting your work life to actually support you, instead of constantly destabilize you. You want a future that feels secure, not just impressive. That's important. Some of you are realizing you've been chasing approval instead of building something sustainable. Others are finally getting recognition and feeling weirdly emotional about it, because success hits differently when you've been under so much relational pressure behind the scenes. Let yourself want both achievement and emotional stability. You do not have to choose between being respected and being okay. Uranus and Gemini can also bring sudden opportunities around teaching, media, writing, legal matters, education, international connections, travel, publishing, or anything that expands your worldview. You may get an idea that feels too bold at first, and then realize it's exactly the move you need. You may outgrow a professional role because your mind just isn't there anymore. You may start speaking with more conviction because you're less interested in being agreeable and more interested in being real. That's growth, Libra. Not everybody is going to like it. Good. Some people only enjoyed the version of you that was easy to manage. By May 21st, when the sun moves into Gemini, you should feel a shift. The mental heaviness turns into motion. Communication peaks. You get some of your spark back, especially around ideas, travel, planning, sharing your perspective, and reconnecting with people who actually stimulate you in a healthy way. This is a strong period for networking, teaching, interviews, writing, launching, posting, conversations that open doors, and saying yes to experiences that widen your world. You may also feel emotionally lighter because there's more air in the system, more movement, more possibility. Just be careful not to outrun the deeper truths that came up earlier in the month. Gemini's season is fun for you. but it shouldn't become a distraction from the relationship work that still needs honesty. The warning for May is this: stop negotiating against yourself just because conflict makes you uncomfortable. That's the trap. You could spend this month trying to keep things smooth on the surface, while your body, bank account, and heart are all screaming that something is off. Don't do that. Don't over-explain. Don't overcompromise. Don't keep giving someone the benefit of the doubt when they keep giving you confusion. Confusion is information. Delay is information. Inconsistency is information. And around the full moon on May 1st, be careful with secrets, emotional debt, and pretending a power imbalance is just a rough patch. If it feels depleting, it is. The opportunity is that May can make you so much stronger in relationships, not colder, stronger, more honest, more self-respecting, more aware of what partnership is supposed to feel like when it's healthy. Uranus in Gemini is opening your mind. Saturn and Neptune in Aries are cleaning up your love life, your boundaries, and your illusions. Jupiter in late Cancer is pushing you toward a future that actually feels emotionally secure, not just visually successful. That's huge. So this is how you win May 2026. Libra, let May 1st reveal the truth about money, self-worth, and intimacy. Use May 16th to get grounded and make practical changes. Let May 21st reopen the world a little and bring your voice back. But don't lose the lesson. This month is not asking you to be more pleasant. It's asking you to be more real. And honestly, once you stop mistaking harmony for health, your whole life starts getting cleaner. Better standards, better boundaries, better love. That's the shift.